Hey, Washington Campus, Brad here with some encouragement and a look ahead at what's happening at the Washington Campus this coming Sunday. First, I want to talk about 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20, where the Apostle Paul says, "Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ." Therefore, we are ambassadors for Jesus Christ. There's a whole lot of observations that just leap out of that phrase, and with those observations come a whole bunch of applications, almost endless, and implications for what that means for you and me. When you hear that word ambassador, there are probably some things that just jump easily to your mind. I think there's at least three things that are easy to grasp when it comes to that word, and one more that I want to share that might be a little bit more insightful from Paul's day in the Roman Empire. So when we think of that word ambassador, I think the first thing we think of is that an ambassador represents someone. If you're in the role of an ambassador, you are representing someone else. And with that, the second observation that's just right there is if you're representing someone, you're also representing that person to somebody else. You are sent to somebody. And the third observation, so you represent somebody, you are sent to someone else, but then with that comes the reality that you're going to live and work and function in a place far from your home. That you're not going to be in your home country. You're going to be sent to another country to represent the person you represent to the people you are sent to communicate with. And the fourth thing is that while it's true in our day, an ambassador is a very prestigious position. It's honorable. It's not given out lightly. All of that would be true in Paul's day. And I don't know, to be honest, exactly what an ambassador does day to day. There are some official duties, certainly. There's also probably a lot of ceremonial duties that an ambassador would perform in his or her country. But in Paul's day, it's a little bit different. You didn't just go and set up an embassy and just kind of hang out in that country and do whatever. You were sent with a purpose. You were sent with a mission. And so, for example, if an ambassador came to the Roman Empire, you would go to the Senate and you would deliver your message. You would bring the issue from your host country to the senator's attention. They would then discuss and debate and interact with that and get back to you. But you came with a purpose, or you were sent with a purpose. So just thinking of those observations about that word ambassador, just begin to think now of the implications and applications for you and me. Paul says it's clear who we represent. We don't have to guess about that. If we follow Jesus, Paul says we are ambassadors for Jesus Christ. We represent him. And now the second question is, okay, well, who do we represent him to? And that's a question for you to answer. Who has God sent you to? Who are the people in your life that you function as that ambassador of Christ? It could be your neighborhood, it could be your neighbors, it could be your workplace, it could be your school, might even be your family. But as you think about that, and I would challenge you to pray about that and think about it from that perspective. Who are you representing Christ to? Remember this: if you're an ambassador wherever you go. You carry that title, you carry that position. So while we have specific people, we are also ambassadors to the world at large. But think about that from both ends. Don't just say, well, I'm just an ambassador to the world. No, think through the specific people in your life that God has called you to be an ambassador for Jesus Christ. And I love that third observation as well, that remember, what is implied in being an ambassador, and Scripture speaks about this elsewhere, that this is not our home. Earth is not our home. This is not our home country. As much as we might love our country, and we do, and we should, this isn't our home country. Remember, Jesus said his kingdom is not of this world. And so I think that's helpful for us to remember that we are citizens of a different kingdom, and we are here on earth as ambassadors representing Jesus Christ to the world. And don't forget that fourth one that I pointed out that was maybe a little bit more unique or more prevalent in Paul's day in the Roman Empire, is that as ambassadors, they were sent with a specific message. And so what Paul goes on to say in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20, he says, "Therefore we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were making an appeal through us. We beg you, on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God." That's our specific message. We are ambassadors to the world. We're ambassadors to wherever it is God is sending us on behalf of Jesus Christ, begging, imploring people that they would be reconciled to God. Well, I share that out of 2 Corinthians because this coming Sunday, Ron is going to continue our sermon series, The Author and Perfecter of Our Faith, with a look at 2 Corinthians chapter 5. So if you have time between now and then, I just want to encourage you, dive into that chapter, read it ahead of time, be ready for Sunday. But Ron's going to unpack a whole bunch of truth because there's a lot more than just that verse in 2 Corinthians 5 that we can understand and apply to our lives. So I just want to give you a taste of that. Hope that encourages you and challenges you a little bit to remember that we are ambassadors for Christ. Also want to, as always, invite you. I hope you can join us in person at the Washington campus this Sunday. We have 2 Sunday morning services, 9 and 10:45. Would love to have you there. And you know what this Sunday is, right? It is Mother's Day. So make a note, and actually I'm going to make a note because make sure you get those cards in the mail, or those cards where they need to be before Mother's Day. Mental note I just made. Okay, so Mother's Day, I'm excited about that because yes, it's an opportunity for us as a campus to honor the moms of our church, and we'll be doing that. But really, this is a Sunday where we're going to honor just all the women of our church. Women play such an important part of our church here at the Washington campus. And just know that if you're watching this and you're new to our campus, or you're thinking about visiting with us, we have we have Bible studies for women. We have groups that meet weekly, some meet monthly, and everywhere in between. We have ministries for moms and just all age groups. Just know that, ladies, women, if you come to our church, you will be loved on and cared for, and you will get connected. So thankful for the women of our church here at the Washington campus that do so much, serve in so many ways, and make our church the special place that it is. So hope to see you this Mother's Day here at the Washington campus. Again, 2 services, 9 and 10:45. But until then, let's press on.